There are actually several ways to install Git on Windows. We are going to use a project called Git for Windows. We start by invoking our browser and going to gitforwindows.github.io. Once that page loads, click on the download button on the home page. This link automatically downloads the version of Git for Windows that best matches your platform. In my case, it downloads the 32-bit version because I'm running a 32-bit Windows operating system. Once the installer has finished downloading, we can click the Open option, which will execute the package directly from the current location. Windows gives us a security warning, which we accept. Once the Git setup wizard starts on the first page, click on Next, which takes you to the license agreement. We agree to the license agreement and the default location for Git installation. We select the components and ask the installer to create additional desktop icons for running the program. This is the Start menu folder where Git will be installed. Since that is also fine, we click on Next. This part configures which part of Git and Git Bash are installed. It is recommended to select the option that installs both the Git Bash as well as allows integration with the Windows command prompt. After making this choice, click on the Next button to continue. This screen asks which SSH client to use. I will choose the default option for using OpenSSH. This screen asks how we should treat line endings, since Windows text files treat line endings differently than Mac or Linux. I prefer to use the checkout check-in as is option, which means not to change anything. This will give me the flexibility to do cross-platform development. Regarding the terminal emulator, I'm going to choose the top option here, which is the minimal emulator required to run the bash shell environment. I choose the default extra options presented by the installer on this last screen. Then we let the installer set up the program according to the options we configured. Finally, we uncheck the View Release Notes and complete the setup. We can now test our installation. We close Google Chrome and invoke Git Bash via its newly created desktop icon. Once we do that, we can verify if Git is installed by typing git space version. Press the Enter key. Git should respond with the version of Git that is installed. To close Git, we can close the window using the close icon, or we can type in the command exit. GitHub is one of the most popular Git hosting service out there. Many open source projects use it for online storage of Git repositories. If you are wondering if you need to use GitHub to use Git, the answer is no. You can use Git completely locally for your own purposes, or you or someone else could set up a server to share files. We are using GitHub in this scenario because GitHub saves us from doing a lot of unnecessary server configurations. We are going to start off by invoking our browser and navigating to github.com. On the top right of the page, we have the option to sign in if we already have a GitHub account. Alternatively, If we are a first-time user, we can click on the Sign Up button to create a new account. Fill out the Sign Up form to start the process. The Create an Account button takes us to the Welcome page that encourages users to sign up for a subscription to a private repository. However, unlimited public repository will suffice for the exercises required in this course. Click Continue. On the next page, we can choose to provide our usage details, or we can choose to just skip this step. Once our profile is created, we can choose to read the documentation, start a new project, or set up our profile. Let's choose to start a new project. That prompts GitHub to ask for email verification and for additional authentication. So we need to sign in to our email to complete the verification process and proceed further. Now that we have officially set up our account, we can create a new repository. For new accounts, there should be only one owner available in the drop-down, which should default to the username we just created. The repository name is the name we wish to give to our new repo. This is recommended to be a short descriptive name with no spaces. Let's choose to call our repo Software Engineering GitHub Demo. We can give an optional description, which is useful to have. We can leave the repository as public and choose to start off our repository with a simple README file. Once that is all down, we can land on the main repository page.